Desert Island Dish is the brilliantly titled, very thought-provoking first episode or first segment in the third episode of the 10th season of Arthur, and I really enjoyed this one because I thought it definitely made me think. It's coming towards the end of the year, which in itself is very fascinating because they're almost about to leave Mr. Ratburn's class, and it kind of makes me wonder what they would be going on to next if they moved up a grade. But he gives them an end-of-year assignment, and all they have to do is select the one food they'd want an unlimited supply of on a desert island. And Buster in particular gets very stressed about this because there are so many foods that he wants and he has a difficult time choosing. And the brain as well struggles with this because he just cannot find the right food. And everybody starts to pick food that they love. Francine picks crisps or potato chips. Arthur picks some breakfast cereal and some various other things people choose. And it's very clear that they're choosing foods that they enjoy eating. And Mr. Ratburn says, "You haven't quite got it, I'll give you another chance." And I'll discuss in a moment what they eventually go on to do, because it's got a really, really important message in it. But the whole message is about what you're meant to eat and what a good diet looks like in order to survive. Because they're supposed to be picking a food that will allow them to survive on a desert island. And it's a really educational episode about nutrition, about the value of certain foods, even the kind of unhealthy foods they pick. Mr. Ratburn kind of says, yeah, there's some benefit. For example, somebody picks ice cream and he says, well, that's good, you're getting dairy. So that's at least something. And I liked that. He didn't immediately just go, well, all of your junk food is rubbish, you can't have any. Because I think if you're telling a child, in particular, that the foods they like to eat are bad and they shouldn't eat them, that's not going to go down well. But Mr. Ratburn never said that. He just said you probably shouldn't just live on that on a desert island. And I thought that was a really sensible approach. Because the second he said, no, that's bad, don't eat it, some children are not going to listen. Some adults, in fact, let's face it, myself included, don't tell me I can't eat ice cream. And I thought it was very well done. It's very good fun, very thought-provoking, because I was genuinely thinking, what, if any, what would I pick? And I just kept coming back to potatoes. Because I like potatoes, and they seem to be the least evil of all of the nice foods that I like, unless they're chips, in which case that's never good, but I enjoy them. And I had a lot of fun with it, and there were a lot of different foods in it, and ultimately the message was very strong. So, spoiler, I'm going to discuss what happens at the end. So the kids were actually meant to give an individual presentation declaring the food that they'd chosen, but actually they decided, Arthur, the Brain, Francine, Buster, etc., they decided to give a group presentation. And each of them brought a food from the different food groups. And it was to show that in order to survive, you actually need to eat a variety of foods. And you need a well-balanced diet, which I think is a very obvious message, but maybe not so much for young children. And what Mr. Ratburn did at the end, I thought was brilliant. I thought that was a really lovely way to finish everything off. So I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was very thought-provoking, really good fun, not completely predictable either, and definitely one that I think is a benefit for anybody watching it of any age. Also, I just found it to be really enjoyable.